First, the sky began to speak, strange lights and voices from nowhere. Then, the ground trembled as if the earth itself was warning us. Animals vanished, skies turned violent, and the witnesses who tried to tell the truth disappeared. What's happening isn't random, it's connected. And when you see the final piece of the puzzle, you'll never look at our world the same way again. The sky speaks. For centuries, humanity has looked to the skies for guidance, inspiration, and answers to life's greatest mysteries. From the ancient stargazers of Mesopotamia to modern-day astronomers with their powerful telescopes, we have always believed the heavens hold secrets beyond our comprehension. But in recent months, the skies have been telling a story far stranger, and far more unsettling, than ever before. It began with faint, shimmering glows high above the horizon, lights that defied all conventional explanations. At first, they appeared in isolated locations, a strange blue beam in rural Canada, a pulsating red flash over the Pacific Ocean, and a ring of golden light hovering above a desert in the Middle East. Witnesses described them as alive, as if the lights were not mere natural phenomena but something intelligent, watching. Soon, the events escalated. Amateur footage began flooding social media, showing eerie patterns of lights moving in perfect synchronization across the night sky. They twisted and spiraled in ways no known aircraft could replicate. Pilots reported strange radar readings and objects that appeared and vanished within seconds. Even seasoned meteorologists were baffled, insisting these were unlike any auroras or weather events ever documented. Religious leaders from multiple faiths began to weigh in, some interpreting these occurrences as divine signs, warnings of an approaching change in the world order. Ancient prophecies were quoted, linking the strange lights to visions of the last days. Meanwhile, scientists scrambled to gather data, but many claimed government agencies were suppressing critical information, fueling conspiracy theories that something far bigger was unfolding. What's perhaps most unsettling is the emotional impact these sightings have had on people. Witnesses described feeling an unexplainable mix of fear and awe, as though they instinctively sensed the lights were not random. Entire communities have gathered on rooftops and hillsides, staring into the heavens as if waiting for something. The question now is no longer, are the lights real? Because the evidence is undeniable. The question is, what do they mean? Are we witnessing a natural phenomenon yet to be understood, a secret technology revealed too soon, or something far more mysterious, something not of this earth? And if the sky truly is speaking, are we ready to hear what it has to say? Earth's restless pulse. While the strange lights in the sky have captured the world's attention, another series of events has been unfolding below, on the very ground we walk on. Over the past few months, seismic activity has spiked in regions that have been dormant for centuries. Entire fault lines, once considered stable, have begun to shift. Remote villages in South America have reported hearing deep, resonant rumblings from beneath the earth, as though something massive is stirring far below. At first, experts tried to attribute these anomalies to natural geological cycles. After all, the earth is constantly moving and changing. But the timing has raised questions. In several cases, the unusual tremors coincided precisely with nights when the mysterious sky lights appeared. For example, a glowing spiral above the Indian Ocean was followed, just hours later, by an inexplicable earthquake deep beneath Madagascar, one that did not align with any known tectonic pattern. Then came the water disturbances. Fishermen from Southeast Asia to the coast of Africa have reported entire schools of fish behaving erratically, fleeing certain areas as if pursued by something unseen. In Iceland, geysers erupted days ahead of schedule, spewing not just steam but strange metallic particles never before recorded in the region. Environmental scientists studying these phenomena have admitted, off the record, that they are puzzled by the sudden surge in unusual natural events. Religious and spiritual communities have connected these happenings to ancient writings that speak of the earth groaning before a great transformation. Meanwhile, conspiracy theorists argue that underground facilities, secret energy experiments, or even hidden civilizations could be responsible. Social media has been flooded with satellite images showing vast, unexplained heat signatures deep beneath remote regions of the planet, igniting speculation of something colossal moving under the crust. The psychological effect is growing. People are becoming hyper-aware of every tremor, every odd weather pattern, and every unexplained sound. Even the most skeptical are beginning to feel uneasy. It's as if the planet itself is sending out warning signals, echoes of a change that will not be ignored. If the skies are telling a story, then the Earth may be answering it. And together, these two forces, above and below, are building towards something we cannot yet define. The question is, when these signs converge, what will happen next? The Vanishing Animals. As the world grapples with strange lights in the sky and unsettling movements deep within the Earth, a quieter but equally disturbing phenomenon has been spreading across continents. Entire populations of animals are disappearing without explanation. It began subtly. Bird watchers in North America noticed that migratory flocks were failing to return on schedule. In Africa, vast herds of wildebeest skipped their annual migrations entirely, leaving the savannas eerily empty. Reports from South America told of rainforests growing unnervingly silent, no calls from howler monkeys, no chirping of frogs after the rains. At first, scientists suspected climate change or habitat destruction, both long-standing threats to wildlife. But what stood out was the suddenness and global scale. This was not a gradual decline, it was a wave of disappearance sweeping across ecosystems as though something had triggered it. Fishermen in Japan returned from their routes baffled to find entire fishing grounds empty overnight, as though the ocean had been vacuumed clean. In Australia, farmers woke to discover that all livestock in certain pastures had broken free and fled toward the hills, only to vanish completely, leaving no tracks or carcasses behind. Surveillance cameras and drones sent to investigate often malfunctioned inexplicably when approaching the affected areas, with footage cutting to static right before anything identifiable appeared. In indigenous communities, elders have recalled ancient stories passed down for generations, tales of the earth calling its creatures to safety before a great upheaval. Some have taken these disappearances as a sign that animals are sensing something humanity cannot. Conspiracy forums, on the other hand, have linked the vanishings to secret military projects, experimental sonic weapons, or even extraterrestrial intervention. What's more unsettling is that these disappearances seem to happen in sync with the strange sky phenomena. When the glowing orbs appear in a region, it is often followed, within days, by the sudden absence of animal life. Satellite thermal scans have occasionally picked up moving clusters of heat far from human civilization, suggesting massive herds or groups traveling to unknown destinations. But when planes are sent to investigate, the locations turn up empty. The world's ecosystems are fragile, and these vanishings threaten more than just biodiversity, they disrupt the delicate balance that sustains life. If animals truly sense danger before humans, then their mass exodus could be a warning we cannot afford to ignore. And if they are fleeing from something, the haunting question remains, what is coming for us? The Sky Anomalies Intensify. In the weeks following the first reports of strange lights, the skies around the globe have become a stage for increasingly bizarre and unexplainable events. What began as faint, glowing orbs drifting silently over remote areas has now escalated into massive, coordinated displays, towering columns of light piercing the clouds, swirling vortexes of color, and blinding flashes that seem to bend the night into day for mere seconds. In South America, witnesses describe shimmering arcs of blue light stretching from horizon to horizon, pulsing like a living heartbeat. Over the Arctic, a swirling green cyclone of light lingered for nearly 2 hours, baffling scientists who initially blamed the aurora borealis, until they realized the magnetic activity levels that night were too low to produce such a phenomenon. Commercial airline pilots have begun reporting encounters at higher altitudes. Some claim they've seen geometric shapes, perfect spheres, cubes, and triangles, drifting just beyond their flight paths, moving against the wind at impossible speeds. Several pilots have allegedly been instructed by air traffic control to alter their routes without explanation, raising suspicions of a coordinated cover-up. In Asia, entire cities have gone silent for minutes at a time as deep, resonant hums filled the air, followed by immense flashes above the skyline. In one widely circulated piece of amateur footage from Seoul, a gigantic, translucent disk appears to hover above the city's tallest buildings before vanishing in a burst of light, leaving a brief afterimage burned into the cameras that recorded it. The most unsettling aspect is the pattern researchers are beginning to notice. Each time a major sky anomaly occurs, it is followed within days by other mysterious events: power outages, communication blackouts, unexplained seismic activity, and even the vanishing animal incidents reported worldwide. Some theorists believe these lights are part of a larger, interconnected phenomenon, possibly signaling the buildup to a global-scale event. NASA and other space agencies continue to downplay the situation, attributing most of these occurrences to atmospheric optics, space debris re-entry, or misidentifications. But leaked documents suggest internal panic, maps with highlighted sky event clusters, and memos urging scientists to prepare for escalations. For ordinary people, the awe and beauty of these celestial spectacles are overshadowed by a gnawing sense of dread. The lights are no longer just a mystery, they're a countdown. And each new appearance feels like we're running out of time. The disappearance of key witnesses. As the mysterious global events escalate, a troubling new pattern has begun to emerge. Those who witness the most extraordinary phenomena are vanishing without a trace. It started subtly, with isolated reports of amateur skywatchers who failed to return home after an evening of observation. At first, friends and family assumed they had gotten lost, met with accidents, or chosen to disappear on their own. But as the disappearances grew in number and frequency, it became clear something far more sinister was unfolding. In rural Australia, a respected wildlife photographer captured a series of breathtaking images showing an immense spiral of golden light over the outback. Hours after posting them online, his social media accounts went dark, his phone disconnected, and his home was found unlocked with his belongings undisturbed. The only clue left behind was his camera, still warm from recent use, resting on the kitchen table. A similar case unfolded in Canada when two documentary filmmakers set out to record a series of strange pulsating lights over the Rockies. They radioed into their team, describing an enormous object opening up in the sky, pouring beams of light down onto the forest below. Minutes later, communication was lost. Search parties found their abandoned van with the engine still running and equipment scattered across the snow. There were no footprints leading away from the site. Perhaps most disturbing is the pattern of government silence surrounding these cases. Local authorities classify most of the disappearances as open investigations, but no substantial leads are ever reported. Family members who press for answers often receive cryptic warnings to stop asking questions. In several instances, online communities discussing missing witnesses have reported their threads being deleted or accounts suspended without explanation. Some theorists believe these vanishings are the result of targeted abductions, possibly to suppress damning evidence of what the lights truly are. Others speculate that the witnesses themselves have been taken by the very forces behind the phenomena, whether extraterrestrial, interdimensional, or something entirely unknown. Whatever the cause, the disappearances have injected a new level of fear into the public. Many now hesitate to even look at the sky at night, afraid they might see something they can't unsee. It's no longer just about the lights or the strange events, they have become a dangerous threshold. Witnessing them may not just change your life, it might end it.